stop for 90 minutes. Now it's time for your daily visit. Mickey Talks. Mickey Talks. He's with Matt Davis. Mickey Talks. So here's the latest. Mickey Talks. We're glad you made it. Mickey Talks. Mickey Talks.
This 81, Matt?
Yeah, man. Episode number 81,
Wow, I am blown away.
which is nothing compared to our guest that we're about to get to in
I
a
know,
little
we're
bit
gonna
here.
get to that in one
we were
second.
celebrating almost our 100th.
Yeah, we're getting ready to get 100. This guy had 450 episodes of his. We'll get to that in a minute. Matt, how was your evening?
I was good, man. I left here in the giant rainstorm. Did you get rained on?
So when I left here,
Yeah.
I had to go up. I told you I had to go all the way out to basically Jarrettsville.
Right?
So I'm driving up 95, and my GPS said get off 95. And then it was the worst driving. I couldn't see the end of the car.
Yeah.
I pulled over.
Well, I think I was here later than you, obviously.
Yeah.
So I waited at the glass door, and it was pouring.
Oh,
I
it
said,
was brutal.
I might as well just go. It's not going to slow down anytime soon. So
Yeah.
I chugged it through the rain, got drenched, sat down in my car, and then immediately just stopped raining.
Welcome to your world, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Brought to us by Barnes Paving. People at Barnes have been incredible to us, and they will be incredible to you. Whatever your paving needs are, whether it's driveways, sidewalks, cracks, whatever, give them a ring at Barnes Paving, or look them up online, BARNES Paving.com. You get 10% off if you mention Mickey Talks. But right now, Matt, you know how excited I've been. I'm talking
Been
about
talking
this.
about it for a long time. Yeah.
I've been wanting to have this guy on the show. I'm a big fan of this guy. He's a great writer, and I find that job to be a lost art. Was with the Sun paper for many, many years. Met him at BAL when we were doing radio.
Spent some time in the building.
We spent some time at Television Hill there at BAL.
3800.
Yeah, and I was always a fan. And politically, we don't always see eye to eye, but a great guy. And he might not remember this. Once complimented my shoes. I'll explain that in a second. But one of my favorite guys to talk about Baltimore, and that is Mr. Dan Rodricks. How are you, Dan?
Hey, I'm good, Mickey. Thank you for having me in here, Matt. Nice to meet you
Good to
after a
meet you as
long
well.
time. Mickey,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the last time I saw you.
So this was about, I was still at the radio station, so at least 12,
I
13,
was thinking, yeah.
maybe longer.
Yeah.
I walked out front, and I had a pair of, you called them the right color, and I don't even remember what they were, Doc Martens, but they were this dark red.
Oh, yeah.
And you call like blood something red or something.
Yeah.
And you go, those shoes are awesome. And I was like, that guy's my new best friend right there. Anyway, Dan,
Yeah.
as I said, bringing you onto the show, you write about some of the neatest little quirkiest things about this city.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot that's quirky about it.
How long have you been here in Baltimore?
Okay, so I arrived in 1976. I got a job out of college with the Evening Sun, the old Evening Sun.
Yeah,
And I felt very lucky to have a job at a major metropolitan newspaper.
right.
And I was a reporter for like 3.5 years. And then the managing editor of the paper felt the paper needed a columnist.
Right.
And I
Someone to opine.
opine a little bit.
Yeah.
Tell quirky stories.
Sure. Yeah.
Off the beaten path, And I was 24 years old.
Yeah.
And I said, you want me to write a column? So I took the job. But, I figured nobody cared what I had to say about anything. I still was forming opinions about
Sure.
stuff.
Yeah.
So that's when I got to be, I would call it a reporter's columnist.
Yeah.
I would just look for stories that were off the beaten path, like I say, that other people weren't covering.
Yeah.
I go to sit in the courthouse and just describe what I
Yeah.
saw in the courthouse for a couple hours. It was great.
Go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just going to say, what is the first move when you got to find the quirkiness in the city? Where do you go first?
I just walk around. I tell people this all the time. I taught a couple of journalism classes at Goucher College. And I said, when you're scratching around for a story, take a bus, get off the bus, take a walk, and look around. You're going to find a story.
Yeah.
In Baltimore.
Yeah.
You're going to find
100 of them.
stories.
Yeah.
The best ones, I always felt it was like manna from heaven. you're standing somewhere, you walk around, you see something, you start a conversation with somebody, and it leads to a story.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Several times that happened to me.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned courthouses, right? I used to go to the district court, and it was amazing. It was almost uncanny. Every time I went to district court, I found an interesting story.
Right.
One time I walked in and I decided to go to traffic court. It's a liar's court. Let's go to traffic court.
Right. Liar's court.
Yeah. So I walk in and sit down, and there's a young police officer being questioned by a young attorney, a defense attorney, who says to the officer, now, officer, I can't remember his name,
Sure.
Officer Smith, you said that my client had trouble finding his car registration in a cluttered glove compartment, and this was on Holabird Avenue.
Right.
It was pretty dark, wasn't it? Yeah, you weren't under a street light or anything. No. So what's so unusual about a man at 1:00 in the morning fumbling around in a cluttered glove compartment to find a small piece of paper? And
Right.
he said, well, he was sitting in my patrol car at the time, so oh my God. So this really happened. And I say, you don't have to make up. That's another thing. You don't have to make it up. That should be a title of a book, really.
Dan,
Baltimore. You don't have to make it up.
You'll love this story.
Yeah.
I was a young guy. I'm probably 22, and I had to go to North Avenue and Harford Road for traffic court.
Traffic court. Yeah.
Wow.
And I walked in 9 a.m. I grew up half a mile
Yeah,
from there. You know?
yeah.
So I go in,
Oh, you speeding ticket? Or
Yeah.
something?
and the judge, I want to say it was Judge Angeletti, but I don't think it was that day.
Yeah.
But anyway, the judge comes out, and this is a true story. In the court, it's traffic, so it's packed. And he sits down, and he says, all right, everybody listen. You got me on a great day. I want to play golf at Clifton Park at 1:00 today.
Right up the road. Yeah.
This is what I want you to do. Come up, plead guilty.
Yeah.
I'll suspend all points, all
Wow.
fines. You'll pay court costs. We'll get out of here. Good? I'm like, this
Oh my
can't be
God.
real.
No,
This can't be real.
the judge
The
really
first three
said that.
guys. The first three guys. All right, that first guy come up. How do you plead? Not guilty. And I'm like, he said plead guilty. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And the judge goes, let me say this again. And he does the whole thing, the whole speech over.
Yeah.
The first three guys said not guilty.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm next. I'm fourth.
It's a trap.
And I'm going, I'm dead. I'm dead.
Yeah.
Right. And I walk up to the thing, and he looks at me, and he puts his arms up. He goes, how do you plead? I went, very guilty, Your Honor. Very guilty.
Yeah.
He went just like this. Suspended, whatever, boom, $15 court cost.
Nice.
Thank you, son. Pay in the lobby.
Wow.
Thank you, sir.
Wow.
Goodbye.
I wonder who
I
that
couldn't believe
that's
it was awesome.
I wonder who that judge
It
was.
was awesome. To me, to this day, I'm like, I don't even know if they're legally allowed to do that, but it was the coolest thing I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
Well,
You got to postpone till those golf dates come up on your
Yeah.
calendar.
You're going to ask me what year?
I was gonna say, like, how long ago was that? Because there were some old school judges who would just
87?
yeah,
Yeah.
old school judges
Yeah.
would do that
It was
stuff.
cool, man.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
cool.
When I started, the district court was attached to police stations.
Yeah.
Which was kind of weird because I don't know the people need to understand there's a separation between the judiciary and the law enforcement. But
Yeah.
anyway, in the Southern District Court, down below Cross Street on Austin Street,
Yeah, no, well.
and I'd go in there for district court at like 9 a.m. and there was this old guy named Froggy, and they called him they call him Froggy. And he would sit in the front row, and he'd listen to the testimony, and he practically was saying bullshit when he heard the testimony, and then he would tap a cane on the floor.
Yeah.
I think as a signal to the judge when he thought the defendant was lying.
Wow.
Really. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And sometimes the old judges like
Yeah.
Judge Backrack,
I remember
Judge Lewis. Yeah, there was a judge,
Yeah.
Judge Lewis. He would look over at Froggy. bullshit. You know, I swear to God, Judge Lewis. I never heard that. I mean, I was still a kid, right?
Yeah,
and I
sure.
hadn't spent a lot of time in courts.
Right.
Although I was a newspaper intern in Boston. But when I got to Baltimore, this is my first experience in district court. And there's the old Hammerjacks.
I worked there.
Long time ago. I was on Charles Street.
I
wasn't
never
it?
went there. No, I worked at the big
All right,
concert hall.
this
Yeah.
is like 77,
Yes,
78,
exactly it. Yep.
79. Some guy gets upset because they kicked him out of Hammerjacks. So he puts his fist through the front plate glass window.
As you do.
Yeah. And the judge is sitting there, Judge Lewis,
Right.
and he listened to the testimony. then you're on. Then they play. The defendant pushes his hand right through the front plate glass window, and the judge looks over at the defense attorney and says, "What is he, mental?" Mental.
Do you remember the little guy?
Thank you for the diagnosis.
There was a little guy in the Western District, little Italian guy. I cannot remember his name.
A judge?
Yeah. And I'll tell you one of the funniest things that ever happened to me in court as well. Another speeding thing. Actually, I think it was something worse, like suspended tags, something. And I walk in and he goes, okay, blah, blah, blah. All right, what's your name? And I said, Michael Coachella. And he goes, Coachella? I go, yes, sir. And he goes, do you have an uncle or some old grandfather, something played for the Orioles? And I go, yes. I had no idea, right? But how many Coachellas are there, right? So I go, yeah, that was my grandfather's cousin. It's exactly what I said. And he goes, I was a little kid. He hit a foul ball one time, hit me in the shoulder. He goes, I cried for 2 days. I'm like, oh, my God. He goes, and I swear, he goes, all right, so what's your story? We did the whole thing. And I'm telling you, at the end, he literally said, he goes, I should probably find you guilty. He goes, because you're just being lazy. But, you know, your great uncle or whatever he was a hell of a player. So I'm going to give you a break today.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, all right.
Didn't
awesome.
know you had a
That's a
rap
great
sheet like that,
story.
Mick.
Yeah, me either, man.
That's a
Me
great
either.
story. Yeah, I mean, that was just one of the places where I found stories was in courts. You know,
What would you say if you look at your whole career since you got to Baltimore? We'll just say 77 till now.
yeah.
I'm going to throw 3 things at you. You tell me which thing you think is put them in chronological order as far as importance.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
The opening of Harbor Place, the Orioles winning the 83 World Series, and I'll go with the closing of Bethlehem Steel. How would you rank those as impact on the city?
I would say first to start with the loss of industry
At Bethlehem,
because it's such a negative thing. I think it had a seismic effect on
it crushed Baltimore
life
for a while.
One thing it really hurt. I mean, there's many aspects of that was bad.
Sure.
But the black middle class.
Mhm.
I mean, you could talk about the white middle class too. I mean,
Sure.
you could.
This
there was
city had a massive black middle class.
Yeah. Partly
Massive.
because of union jobs
Absolutely.
down at the point. You could come out of high school, maybe
Yep.
not even finish high school.
Right. I
And go
worked there.
down.
I worked there.
Did
in
you
the shipyard? Yeah. Worked there
Is
for a
that
year and a
right?
half.
at the Key Shipyard or down
Bethlehem Steel at the shipyard.
Wow.
Yeah.
When they still had a shipyard.
I worked in the shipyard. Yeah. But
But
I agree with
think,
you.
I think that I used to understand this that you could get a job as a steel worker, pretty young,
Yeah.
and good wages, maybe
I mean-
buy a house, get a car within a few years.
I tell my kids this. They think I'm like, they go big deal because they don't understand of it. 18 years old in 1988, I'm making $48,000 a year.
yeah.
That's a lot of money for a young kid.
Yeah, it was
Back then.
in that time for
No,
sure.
In
Yeah.
88, it's
Yeah.
like making 80,000 now probably, or
Yeah.
70.
Right.
And I'm 18. You think I took advantage of it? Hell no. Couldn't
Yeah.
wait to get out of that and get a job in a bar
Right.
like an idiot.
So
But-
you think about like the men, I guess primarily we're talking about men, but
Yeah.
women too. That worked. If you're not skilled, if you haven't gone to
Yeah.
college,
Yeah.
how do you make a wage like that today?
It's funny you say not skilled. And I don't mean to point this out.
Well, you
or
start
anything.
off not skilled.
You
right?
start off with nothing.
Yeah.
And within 2 years, I mean, these guys were unbelievable.
Yeah.
Mechanics,
Yeah.
welders, like these guys were like artists
Yeah.
down there.
I
It was
know.
wild.
It's really a shame what happened there. So I would put that as number one, but it seems like a negative thing.
Yeah, I'm just like
Right.
an overall impact, good or bad.
Those three things you picked are interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Harbor Place, definitely. At the time, I thought I remember it's sort of an immature, maybe a view of things.
Sure.
I thought, yeah, Harbor Place is great for tourism. It's for bringing people downtown, but there's still all this poverty in Baltimore, right? That I don't know, is that going to address it? But then when you look back at it, Schaefer was mayor.
Yeah.
And he needed and somehow to say the city is still alive.
Yeah.
You look at the population loss of Baltimore City. That's something maybe should be on your list.
But my question is,
Yeah.
isn't that the result of some of these things?
I think it mostly was a result of integration.
Yeah,
I
maybe
mean,
so.
I mean, the racial thing is very big. It's been very much on my mind
Yeah.
because I just finished writing my third play,
Mhm.
and it has a lot to do with Baltimore in the 60s. It has everything to do with Baltimore in the 60s.
Yeah.
That's the setting of it. And race was a big a big deal.
Yeah,
it
is.
I mean, the white flight from the city was very significant during this period.
Yeah, and agree. I mean, I think you'll agree too, but it's not necessarily a Baltimore problem. There's been massive cities all over the country that had white flight.
Okay, but Baltimore's
no doubt.
Baltimore's population in 1967, 66 was 949,000.
Right.
And we're now down below 600,000. I mean, realize it's 60 years, but
I understand.
Accelerate. So Schaefer was mayor and he was losing population. He knew it, and he had to get people back downtown. The whole idea of turning the rotting old piers and this industrial waterfront into a tourist attraction was kind of, when you think about it, it's a little crazy.
Yeah, but it worked.
But it did work for a long time.
It did, and they gave the city a good 20 years, I think,
they did,
of just booming nightlife, especially.
18 million visitors a year at Harbor Place at its peak.
And it did help the city. I mean,
most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your, if all these years you write all these little stories about little shops, little this guy, that.
Yeah.
What's been the one that just stuck with you where you were like, so glad I met that person or went in that place or saw that event?
Oh, wow. Geez. Oh, my
Doesn't have to be the best, just one that stands out for you.
Yeah. Interesting people, somebody that's like, this is a really positive person or a quirky person.
Sure.
Where's you? I'd have to take a minute there to think about that. There's been so
think
many
about
over
that.
the years.
Do you remember your first?
What was your first story?
Your first story. Yeah.
Oh, I can tell you that story.
Yeah, what is that?
So that one I remember very well because the column ran on. The first time I ran a column was January of '79.
Wow.
And it was supposed to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's supposed to come up with 3 stories a week.
Yeah.
And you want your debut to be the best it can be, right? So,
who's this kid?
Well, you can think too hard about it, right?
Sure.
You can't hit a home run every day, but you want to hit a home run the first time up, right?
Of course.
So it's Friday before that Monday, and
you got nothing.
So what am I going to write about? So I get a phone call from a lawyer I knew who said that his client was involved in a divorce and she's seeking half of her husband's property. I said, well, that's not much of a story. He said, well, except you got to understand who the husband was. The husband was a guy named Gene Comey, who was the son of Louis Comey. And they were both fences. They both bought stolen property from burglars for years in Baltimore City.
Wow.
And the police property room in 1978, 79 was full
of their shit.
Their TV sets, mink coats, jewelry, silverware.
Love these guys already.
Yeah. So the Comeys were convicted like in 72 or 73. They spent 4 or 5 years in prison. They come out of prison. And they tell Judge Paul Dorff in the circuit court that the police never proved that most of that property was stolen. Most of that stuff is ours. It never went back to the owners you claim that was stolen from. It's our stuff.
Yeah.
So the judge listens to this and says, they're right. If you don't prove those TV sets over there, you don't prove that mink coat was stolen, hey, I'm sorry, but it has to go back to Louis and Gene.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good story right there. I'm ready to go with that.
It gets better?
It gets better.
I love it.
The ex-wife, Jeannie Comey, she shows up. She wants half of her husband's share of that loot. And then the lawyer says, if you want to meet her, she's going to be at the Lord Baltimore Hotel. So I go down to Lord Baltimore Hotel. It's a snowy Friday evening or cold Friday evening. And she's wearing a fox coat, a fox jacket with her hair is all frosted and she's all dolled up and smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
And she's drinking a whiskey sour with 2 olives in it.
Jesus, what'd you mean, Virginia Hill? What the hell did you mean? For God's sake.
This was like, yeah. So, So
nice to see you, darling.
Yeah. It was something like
those Snickers every day.
Yeah. Look at that boy. Look at that. And then at the end of the interview, she says, "Hey, are you hooked up? Who are you with?" My sister just separated from her husband, and that guy was a loser. So she's separated from her husband too, who was a fence.
They're all losers.
So that ended up being my first.
What a
column.
great story,
man!
Yeah,
great story.
That was like boom, And they actually built my confidence. And then you started counting on people to call me.
Yeah.
So you're asking me like who's the most like memorable person I ever met? Jeez. Did
you meet John Waters?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I wrote some pieces about John when
he's great. I love that guy.
When Johnny Depp was in
Yeah,
town for
yeah.
Crybaby. And,
Yeah.
what was the last one?
Serial Mom, I think.
No, there's a couple since then.
There was Pecker.
Pecker.
Pecker was great. Yeah.
Yeah. John's a great guy. Really is. He's been supportive of mine. When I left the Sun this past January, he sent me a really nice note.
Did he really?
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah, I mean, Dan,
he loves newspapers. John does.
I think a lot of us from that, like, I grew up delivering newspapers.
Yeah.
Like, the newspaper still does hold. I don't do them anymore. Sadly, I don't.
Yeah.
But I do miss that. Sitting down and having something tangible.
Yeah,
I like that part. I know. And you do a great job online. I mean, you do. Yeah. You do a phenomenal job online. And I do read you. I read you.
Yeah, but you know about Substack?
I didn't know about the Substack
stuff. So since I left the Sun, I didn't want to retire.
Yeah, why would you?
I don't want to retire.
You still have a brain? You still have thoughts?
Yeah, I just didn't want to work there anymore. I had 48 years there.
How about the mail stripping? Have you slowed down with that?
Only on weekends.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. By the way, it just came to mind a guy. You asked me like a memorable character.
Sure.
Every once in a while, something will pop into my head during this podcast. Johnny Sticks. They called him Johnny Sticks because he had polio, and he walked around with crutches.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
And he actually fixed clocks and watches in his row house on McHenry Street in Southwest Baltimore. And he had this great attitude about he had a loop in his eye, when he worked on watches, and he fixed clocks, and he would actually move around on the floor on his knees because he didn't feel like getting on the crutches all the time. But he had just a great attitude, the whole ambiance of that of his house, and when people walking in, everybody knew him. That kind of Johnny Sticks, they called him.
That's cool. Were there a lot of stories that just kind of unfolded like your first one, where it was just kind of like just a small lead, and then it turns into this amazing story?
Yeah, I'll tell you one. So this is actually a story from my play. So I did a
let me talk about that for a second. So you snuck that in, and we didn't get a chance to go. You're working on your third play, is that right?
Yeah.
Tell me about the first two.
Right. The first one was called Baltimore, You Have No Idea.
Okay.
It was in 2022. I wrote a play that I thought was going to be Baltimore, You Have No Idea.
Yeah, I love the name.
I thought it was going to be a one-man play, but I chickened out.
Right.
So I call it a one-man play with a cast of 7, and I had other actors interact with me on the stage at the Baltimore Museum of Art. And Mickey, walk out on stage to do this play, and people like break into applause, and I haven't said a word yet.
Right. Isn't that a great feeling?
Oh my God, what a feeling!
I
know why you do stand-up.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
no, it is.
I come out there and I give my opening line. One stinking hot, sweaty night outside the Cafe Tattoo on Bel Air Road, a young woman took a drag on her cigarette, and she said, "Baltimore, it's not the heat, it's the humility."
Humility.
And then the audience laughs.
Right.
And I said, "Oh, this might work." So it was like a 90-minute play.
That's amazing,
all
man.
Stories that are based on my columns.
I love that.
I love that too, man. That's amazing.
You got to do that again, man.
Well,
I got a place for you. Dan.
I did it. Yeah. We've done it twice since then.
Yeah.
Oh, I sold out every show. It's 350 seats. It's a very comfortable theater.
Yeah.
BMA. And then I wrote a second play about what we were talking about earlier, going to courts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trials that I observed, some tragic, some very funny. That was called Baltimore Docket, and we staged that in February last year, sold that out, and then we did Baltimore, You Have No Idea again. So we've done that 3 times. So then I said, okay, I'm on the way to a trilogy here.
Right. What's this one about?
Okay, so this one is I was 12 years old in Massachusetts when this happened.
Yeah, you're a South Boston guy, basically, right?
Yeah, the South Shore.
South Shore, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we talk. Yeah, we call it the South Shore down there, Mickey. Yeah, Matt. Anyway, so let me come back to Baltimore here. So this is Baltimore in 1966.
Yeah.
The Orioles are on the way to winning the World Series.
Absolutely.
Frank Robinson, Brooks Robinson, Black Robinson and White Robinson.
I got it. Yeah.
In a city where the racial tension is heating up.
Yep.
And there's a Republican mayor, the last Republican mayor, Theodore Roosevelt McKeldin.
Yeah.
He's 67 years old. This is his last hurrah. He's trying to hold things together to keep the city from exploding like other cities are starting to explode. Yeah. And so it's about race, politics, and baseball.
Wow.
It's called No Mean City, Baltimore, 1966.
Wow.
So,
yeah. I'm hooked.
Yeah.
I'm hooked.
Oh, I've learned. And you know what? It's like a reporting assignment for me. Like I really dug into the research to learn about that because I wasn't here then.
Yeah.
So this would be the first play where I'm writing about events that I didn't witness myself.
Right.
The first two plays about my own experience. So I can go back to that and tell you that story from the first play if you want.
Yeah, I would love that.
So this is what Matt asked about a story that kind of rolls out, unravels as you go. So I get a letter from a mayor of a small town in France, Henri Ducret, who writes to me on the suggestion of a veteran that he had met, American veteran.
Wow.
In this little town of Sauvigny in eastern France, a soldier from Baltimore, John Kreiner, was killed in the liberation of this town, liberating it from 4 years of occupation by the Germans. Kreiner was killed along with another soldier from West Virginia. And the people of the town of Sauvigny, it's just a little village, were putting up a monument in memory of Kreiner from Baltimore.
Wow.
And,
are you serious?
And the soldier from Morgantown, West Virginia. So would I write a story about this because we want to find the Kreiner family in Baltimore?
That's amazing.
I got chills right now.
Oh, maybe you haven't heard the half of this yet. So, write a story that we're doing this to alert the Kreiner family.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I went into the Baltimore Sun archives with the help of we had a librarian, Paul McCardle, and we found a photograph of a private John Kreiner from Baltimore.
Huh.
And a short note that said that he had taken part in the invasion of France from the south. It was like the second D-Day. It occurred in August of 44. And that he had been wounded, but he was returning to combat. And that's all we had, like a small note about it, because at the time, there was huge news.
Of course.
Once the U.S. entered World War II, there were lots of mounting casualties, war in the Pacific, war here. So the Sun only had a small, brief mention of this guy. So we ran his picture in the paper, and I wrote a story about the monument. Next day, I get a phone call like I was hoping for, and it was from a woman named Margaret, who says to me, "Listen, Sonny boy, Rodricks, you got a nice story about John Kreiner there dying in the war, but that's a picture of my Johnny Kreiner, and he wasn't killed. He came home and we made babies."
Huh.
Oh,
I said, "What?" I said, yeah, we came home. He died in 1980. I said, I don't know how you got his picture there. He didn't die in France. He was wounded, but he came back. We made babies.
Right.
It was a woman in Frederick.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh my, I made a terrible mistake here. What's the story here?" So we spent the rest of the day in the War Memorial, where they have an archive of everybody who was
ever did anything
in service of the country, right? And so we ended up finding out that there were 19 Kreiners from Maryland in World War II.
Wow!
Oh my God!
Yeah. They were all from Baltimore. Some were in the Navy, some were in the Army, right? 7 of them were named John.
Oh my God!
2 of them were from East Baltimore.
Yeah.
2 of them had married women named Margaret before they went overseas. And there was a John H. Kreiner.
Yeah.
And then there was a John H. Kreiner Jr. and a John Kreiner no middle initial. So the picture we ran was John Kreiner no middle initial.
Yeah.
And the one who had died was John H. Kreiner Jr. And it was like, it reminded me, remember Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah.
Do you remember on the way to Finding Private Ryan, they think they found the right guy?
Yeah. And it's the wrong guy.
It's the wrong guy.
Yeah.
And he said, "I'm sorry, your brothers are dead."
Yeah.
But his brothers were only 3 and 5 years old.
3 and 5, yeah.
So I felt like we had made that kind of mistake because it was uncanny, the number of Kreiners who were in there. So I straightened it all out and wrote another. I had to write a second story. And then the Kreiner family has been over to see the monument. And So
you did find the actual family?
Yes. Yeah,
And
they actually
they
couple
went,
of them went over there to see the monument.
I mean,
little
what
town.
a story that is, man.
Yeah.
And I think that just the idea of what you did with these plays, where you took your stories and create, I mean, that's such a golden idea. I mean, have you heard of anybody else in the industry doing something like that?
I got to tell you, I did this as a lark, right? We're not as a lark. I always wanted to write a play.
Yeah, good for you, man.
Yeah.
I did the same thing.
Right, I know. You told me that today. Yeah. I put up the money myself to rent the theater, but I got buy-in from people. I was going to say this to you. You know so many people by now from your career here. It's so cool when the talented people you know jump in to help you do something.
My theme song.
Yeah.
The guy, that's my second one.
I love that.
That's the second one.
Yeah.
We have the old one.
Yeah.
We got to play that on the way out
song?
today.
Yeah.
If we get that
sure.
So this guy, just like you're saying, just an incredible, talented Baltimore guy, writes us theme songs, and they're awesome.
That's great.
Yeah. So
I mean, I had
your point.
So I had a musician for this play who did transition music. On stage with a piano. I had my old friend Will Schwartz who produced videos. So when I was referring to the Kreiner story, telling the audience that story, they would see the headlines of the columns that I wrote, photographs of Kreiner, photograph of his grave.
Love that.
So we did. This is a multimedia play.
Yeah.
And then I had a set designer, and who's a guy's an artist.
Yeah.
And there's no way I couldn't pay him enough to do what he did.
Yeah.
But he just bought into it.
Yeah.
He wanted to do it. He and his buddy. And so I had to end up with this really nice set, far more beautiful than the money that I put up for it. Later on, I paid them more. But So and then people came backstage. A couple of guys. One guy was a producer at the Discovery Channel. He came and said, "You know what you have here? Why are you only doing 3 shows?" I said, "Because I only could afford the rent for 3 shows." "Why are you only doing 3 shows?" I said, "You there's a newspaper guy telling stories about what he wrote with the video and the music.
It's brilliant.
This is I never saw anything like this before."
Yeah.
That was very exciting.
Sure.
So this new one, it's going to tackle race. Is it a one-man thing or is it multiple?
So this is like a real. This is different. This is I'll be a narrator in it.
Nice.
But I won't be one of the actors.
Yeah.
So I narrate. I'll be on stage.
I love this.
And Mayor McKeldin is this guy.
Yeah.
Mayor McKeldin, who's I have a lot of respect for. He's been kind of overlooked in Baltimore history.
Yeah.
Because he was really progressive, especially on civil rights.
Yeah.
He had been governor of Maryland for 2 terms, and he came back and he ran for mayor again. He won't know that I'm there.
Right.
I'll be talking about him in City Hall.
I love this.
And then at some point, he does recognize me, and it becomes an interview. But we got Frank Robinson and Brooks Robinson characters in it. Jerry Hoffberger, the owner of the Orioles.
Yeah.
And it's all about the excitement of the city building toward that.
This is so cool.
When there was a lot of.
Are you done it? Is it finished?
Yeah, I finished writing it. We're casting it now.
Wow.
Yeah. It's supposed to be on stage next March 26th.
Oh my gosh.
You should come back and talk about that before it
definitely
happens,
is.
so we can promote it for you.
Oh, that'd be very nice of you.
Hell
I'm
yeah,
kind of
man.
excited about more. I'm glad we did that first 2. I'm kind of excited about this one because it's kind of more of a standard kind of play.
Well, I think it's also for you. It's probably more of a challenge and more of a sort of artistic journey because you're not writing about things you lived.
Right.
You're writing about things that you know happened.
Right.
And your influence or your thoughts on those things.
Right.
That's the really fun part of that.
Do you know the Ku Klux Klan came to Baltimore in the summer of '66?
I do.
And to protest open housing.
Yes.
An effort to end discrimination in housing.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't know if you know this or not, but Western Maryland was empty that night. You could have robbed anybody.
So the stuff I learned.
Dan, I want to ask you though, because, when you talk about the race in the city, and over the years, it was also to me though, and I traveled doing comedy and stuff. Like you get into cities. As much as Baltimore had race issues,
right?
I felt like it did intermingle better than other cities. It wasn't quite so stark black area, white area. that we had them. West Baltimore,
Yeah.
we all know West Baltimore. We all know East Baltimore. We all know South Baltimore. I grew up in Northeast Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And when I grew up in the 70s and 80s, it was integrated. And that was the time. I don't know. Maybe you'll.
No, there were some areas of the city that were integrated by then.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, by then.
Yeah.
But I do think it's one of the cities that even to this day, there's still a love for the city that keeps people kind of connected.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say.
Do you agree with that?
I totally agree with that.
Yeah,
and I
regardless of race, age.
Here, a couple things. The first time the Ravens were in the Super Bowl, I think Martin O'Malley was mayor, and I'll never forget the woman who called a radio talk show, a sports show.
Yeah.
From Bel Air, and says, "Air Mayor is doing a great job."
Yeah,
she's talking. You live in Bel Air,
yeah,
but she felt like, and then also I've noticed.
Bel Air, just so you know, is East Baltimore North.
Yeah,
now.
they moved out there.
It's just straight up 95.
Yeah, it used to be just Perry Hall.
Yeah, it used to be Perry Hall. And then it went into Kingsville.
Yeah.
And then it was Falston.
Yeah.
Now it's Bel Air.
Yeah.
Look out, Delta, PA. We're coming.
Yeah, and the other thing I noticed over the years from being in journalism and doing TV show, radio shows, that people miss things that they saw when they were kids.
Yeah.
Like when they came to visit their grandparents or when they lived with their grandparents. And they want to, I don't know if they want to live in the city again, but maybe their kids do.
There's a really wild thing going on right now, which is, I haven't seen it since like really South Baltimore and Canton exploded when that happened.
Yeah.
There is a revival again for the city life.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I would love nothing more than to be able to just get down in there, have it's a great city.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great city and it's got a ton of problems, but it is charming as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think you feel the same.
I do feel that way. And you don't know that unless you spend time there.
Bingo.
After the Freddie Gray stuff, I heard from so many people, I'll never go to Baltimore again. You can have it. I'll never go to Baltimore again. I said, okay, well, eventually you're going to miss out on stuff. You might be afraid right now about going to a restaurant in the evening, but I do at some point you're going to miss it.
I do think all the cities in this country are going to do this over time.
Yeah.
You can't help it.
Our population, though, has fallen.
Oh, it's brutal.
So
So
Dan, if you had people visiting in town, and you had to show them maybe 3 places to show them the real charm of Charm City, where would you take them?
Well, on Sunday I take them to the farmers market downtown underneath the Jones Falls.
That is awesome.
Hang around just a Sunday. You can leave Sunday afternoon. Come to the farmers market with me. Go to the Swallow at the Hollow Bar at Northern Parkway and York Road.
York Road.
I mean, it was there last night. You were talking about being caught in the deluge last night.
Yeah.
I was in the Swallow having a sandwich. So I'd go there.
Yeah.
Maybe watch an Orioles game on TV. One of the best places to go to watch an away game for the Orioles is there. And the third place. Where would be the third place? I just take a walk around
Golden Ring Mall.
Golden Ring Mall. You ain't lived till you walked around Golden Ring Mall.
Are you kidding me? That when I was a kid, Golden Ring Mall, that was like we're going to the mall. It was such a big deal, man.
Did you go to Udawood?
No, Udawood Plaza. I'll never forget it.
Which is now called
I don't know.
Towson something.
Towson Common? No, whatever that.
That's where Ollie's is.
Ollie's,
I know.
Yeah.
That's where the Ollie's is.
That's where you know where you are when there's an Ollie's.
And I go for a taco crawl in Fells Point.
Oh, nice.
That's like hit 3 or 4 taco places.
Sure.
Dan, do you feel like me that, I get all the hyperbole from everybody. I mean, it's a bunch of horse shit when people just start mouthing off. But don't you see sort of like, I'm interested in your opinion on this, like a new wave of immigration in this country where it was Europe at the turn of the century.
Yeah.
And now it's South America and
Central America.
And Central America.
Yeah.
It's like they're coming here. I got to be honest. Like, I don't have a problem with it. Like, I wish they'd all sign the guest book when they got here.
Yeah.
But I like when I go through Fells Point now, and it's a huge Hispanic population.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
You feel like you're in a cosmopolitan city, right?
Yeah. It's different. Yeah. And I like it.
Yeah.
I do.
My father was an immigrant from Portugal.
We won't hold that against you.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. My favorite, by the way, my favorite soccer player in the history of the world is Portuguese favorite son. Portugal's favorite son. Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
Of course, yeah.
Your
dad was an immigrant.
Yeah, my wife's parents were immigrants from France. So when we had Portugal against France in the World Cup, one year, and the headbutt thing happened. Anyway.
Yeah.
And I guess that's part of the reason why I'm sympathetic to people who come into this country from,
anywhere.
I mean, think about the balls it takes to actually do that, right? I mean, if you want to move to Canada, that's easy. You can speak English, right? Unless you're in Quebec and they expect it. But I mean, really think about it.
Yeah.
And not only that, you walked here.
And then you walked here. Imagine walking.
Like, that's the part I forget to tell everybody. I'm like, they're not just coming here for, like, they walked like a continent to get here.
It makes life more interesting to me. Also, the people that I see around town, they're working. They're silently working on road crews and landscaping and housekeeping and why we're doing what we're doing now.
I don't want to get into that. I do want to tell you, though.
It's bad.
It is bad. And that brings me to another question. As a journalist your whole life, you realize truth is everything, right?
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Have we lost our way with the media in general? Like, does the public look at the media now and go, sorry, guys, I'm not going to listen. Yeah. I'm not going to trust you. Has it lost its way?
Yeah, I don't quite understand it. Why?
Well,
I mean, okay, so you can call me old school.
Sure.
But I don't understand why more people don't read the news rather than watch it. I mean, watching is easier.
Or just read a headline.
Yeah.
Or they just read a headline or something. And I know you have to pay for a newspaper to read it online. Right. Actually, digitally, it doesn't cost as much.
Yeah.
But, I think if you spent time actually reading mainstream news and then people say, lamestream news.
Yeah.
Why are you saying that? What? Show me where it's wrong.
Well, I think TV is what destroyed news. I mean, all those news stations stopped being news stations and became advertising outlets and opinion makers.
Well, cable introduced the opinion television, right?
Yeah, entertainment news.
Fox and MSNBC and CNN, talking heads, right? Yeah. Okay, so we grew up at a different time when you actually had straight news reporting on CBS, NBC, ABC.
Right. Yeah, you believe those guys.
That was it. Yeah, that was it. So you only have those three choices.
Yeah.
And you had daily newspapers.
Right.
And actually radio stations had
good news coverage. People,
yeah. So I think we're at a place where people want to affirm their opinions about things.
That's what I think it is that we've become to a point where you want your opinion to be the facts.
Yes. And everybody's susceptible to that, right?
We all are.
You believe a certain thing about immigration, right?
Yeah.
So you want to read you want to read a report that affirms what you said.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time looking online at research. For instance, I was writing about the Medicaid stuff that came through Congress the other day. And I read reports about people who receive Medicaid benefit who are not employed more than 80 hours a month, right? So there were a couple of reports on this. And, I'm generally sympathetic to people who are poor enough that they qualify for Medicaid. But I was also open to the idea that maybe some of them don't work because they don't want to work. It's just, and that is true, but it's exaggerated by the Republicans, for instance, how many people are like that, right?
Yeah, but don't you think we all know people like that, though, Dan, that's the problem? It's such a big number. I'm not saying it's the majority, but it's not such a it is not such a minute number that we all don't know somebody cranking away at the system and getting a break on it. I think we all do. You don't agree with that?
I don't know. I mean, Medicaid is not a cash benefit. Medicaid is something you use when you need medical help.
Right.
So it's not like
I'm for it, by the way. I don't think I'm not.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a difference between that and, say, a cash benefit of what we used to call welfare or something, right? Which doesn't hardly exist anymore.
I'm not talking. I wouldn't even have a problem if everybody just got Medicaid when you were born. Just like, you're covered. You're good.
Well,
and I know that's going down a slippery slope.
No, but that's where we should be.
Agreed. I mean, we're at the point where
I'm with Bernie Sanders on that one.
I'm not quite there. I'll end it with this.
Yeah.
I do think that, like, anything you need that's not major medical, Yeah. In other words, you need a stitch. You need some antibiotics. Yeah. I think there should be places we can all walk in for free, get some medicine, go home, get over the flu, go back to work. I think that's what we should cover.
I agree.
Yeah.
I was just trying to make the point that when you go into Google and start Googling stuff and read stuff, you have to it has to be a credible source. Yeah. And you have to be open to the idea that it's not going to affirm what you already believe.
Well, I was going to ask you that. Do you think it's possible for journalism to be completely objective, a person to be completely objective with the news?
Yeah, cause I only say it because I worked over the years with many reporters who were just sort of clinical about their work.
Just the facts.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and they didn't care either way, did they?
But did you
they
think
didn't reveal? They felt as part of their ethical duty not to
reveal their opinion.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I don't know who they voted for. I might assume.
I think Cronkite was actually a good example of that. Yeah. We all know what a bleeding heart that he truly was in his personal life.
Yeah,
but when he told the news, you didn't know anything until he retired and started speaking openly about that.
But if you're putting that story together, don't you think there's a part of your psychology that goes into a certain slant of that information?
I mean, that's human nature, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you from my own experience, the people I worked with over the years, the reporters, not opinion writers, not editorial writers.
Yeah, sure.
I would say were they clinical in their approach, meaning, they
can keep it out of it.
Precise, and they know they have to make the phone call to the person who's going to give the other side of it.
Yeah.
Who do you think is objective today? If you had to name some sources that were not completely slanted.
Well, I mean, I read the news stories in the New York Times, the Washington Post. I read the Banner here in Baltimore. And
would you ever read the New York Post? Would you ever even consider it?
No.
Okay. I mean, that's just a fair question.
I think it's kind of a waste of time.
I understand.
I feel like it's all. I think that's slanted news.
Right.
I mean, that's
and there's
partly to entertain people.
Right.
They want to. They want you to buy the paper off the street. Actually.
Right. Yeah. I get it. I'm not saying I agree, but I get it. Let's do this, Dan. We're going to do some reporting now, and we want your opinion on how we do it.
Okay.
We do the news every day, but we don't call it the news. It's called, it's the greatest little information nugget on the internet, in my opinion. And it's something we've been doing since the beginning. Chime in with us. It's just our version of the news. Right. Brought to you by Barnes Paving.
Dan.
What's that?
I said award-winning.
Yeah, award-winning.
Yeah.
Razzie.
That's pretty good. You've only been on the air since April.
Yeah, we're doing great.
Good.
Yeah, we got 2 Pulitzers already. We call it That's the Facts. Matt, what do we got, buddy?
So we were talking about the rain earlier. I mean, Mother Nature has been taking a toll everywhere here. We've got multiple states dealing with major flooding. The East Coast storms are impacting millions with flash flood warnings on Monday for parts of New York City and New Jersey, where Governor Phil Murphy declared a state of emergency. The storm system sent floodwaters rushing through New York subway stations, while flights into and out of the region faced weather-related delays. And then, meanwhile, in Texas, rain is hampering recovery efforts in the flood-ravaged Texas Hill Country, and rescue efforts still on. And then you have things like the fires happening in the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, it's
right now as well. So the north rim of the Grand Canyon National Park will be closed for the rest of 2025 season as firefighters continue to battle the destructive Dragon Bravo fire in northern Arizona.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful area, the northern Arizona there, and it's usually not associated with wildfires.
Yeah.
No,
it's not. Not for historically.
Yeah, the fire, they say, has been burning for about 10 days, and it's consumed more than 5,000 acres and destroyed the historic Grand Canyon Lodge, which has been opened decades ago for tourists.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Really? I hadn't heard that news. Yeah. Wow, that's terrible.
You know, Dan, I have a hot take on this whole, global problem with the weather.
Yeah.
I think maybe the problem is we stopped using so much carbon. I think the carbon in the air was keeping things fine. We started lowering our use of it, and now the sun's just baking everything. And I realized that what I'm saying is completely idiotic and moronic. I was just trying it out on you, man.
Yeah, that's all right.
And your sheer look of who the hell is this guy?
I'm looking, what am I going to say to this? Oh, my God.
Totally
there's no science to support what you're saying, Mickey. Yes, right. All right.
So the meteor shower is here all month long. Americans will want to keep their eye on the sky over the course of the next month. That's because the annual Perseid meteor shower is officially underway. Most of the country will be able to view the annual astrological event, which gets its name from the Perseus constellation. August 12th is when it's going to be at its peak, I think, according to space.com. 11 p.m., you want to get into a dark place, of course, without a lot of light pollution. And other tips include finding a spot where the sky is wide and open as well. Have you seen this before?
I've seen a meteor shower. I don't know if it was that one.
Yeah.
But
we've both been in dark places.
Yeah, we've been in some really dark places. But I'll tell you, I didn't see it in great light and was still blown away.
Yeah.
I was in the county, but like my neighborhood was dark, but that's not the same.
Harford County probably used to be a great spot to see it till the last decade or so.
Yeah. 20 years really. But yeah. You spend a lot of time in Harford County?
No.
You would love it. I'm not kidding.
I go to Darlington to fish for shad in the spring.
We're going to talk shad.
Yeah.
Have you been up to the dam yet to do the shad run?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
My son
with
and
a fly rod.
Yeah. Well, not fly, but this is no lie. On a Saturday and Sunday for about 3 hours each day, my son and I caught 78 shad.
I believe you.
It was like
you can have
bang.
days like that.
Yeah.
It was so great.
It was incredible. And he was like 11 at the time.
Yeah.
So he's been hooked ever since, man.
Yeah. That'll do it. That'll do it.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, Sesame Street's Elmo has been hacked.
It's about
If
time.
you heard. A beloved kids TV icon, look at him, was the victim of a hack recently when social media accounts belonging to Sesame Street's Elmo posted vile and inappropriate messages. A rep for Sesame Workshop, the nonprofit which produces the long-running educational series, put out a statement saying Elmo's X account was compromised by an unknown hacker who posted disgusting messages, including anti-Semitic and racist posts. The spokesperson says they were working to restore full control of Elmo's X account and that the offensive posts, which included anti-Jewish slurs and references to Jeffrey Epstein, have since been removed.
It's crazy.
What if Kanye has been around the X account?
Wasn't the voice of Elmo done by someone from Dundalk?
I don't know.
Kevin Clash.
You would know, man. You know everything.
Is that right? I know. What's his name? Kermit went to Towson here, right?
You mean went to University of Maryland?
Oh, it was University of Maryland, right?
Jim Henson.
Jim Henson.
Yeah.
But I
the
think
Elmo voice
Elmo came along like in the 80s.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it was the voice. The voice was done by Kevin Clash, who I think was from Dundalk or Turner Station or.
That's really cool.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
There's another comedian, Lucas Bone, who he does the best Elmo impression.
Oh yeah.
And oh my God, it's so funny, man. Oh, yeah. I loved it.
So the latest game coming to casinos, guys, is Uno. The Palms Casino Resort recently opened
I liked Uno.
I love Uno.
Yeah. Well, they're going to open themselves up to some fights, I think.
Of course.
The first ever Uno Social Club in Vegas is coming. It sounds like it's a temporary thing for select groups of Uno enthusiasts, featuring tons of Uno gaming, food, and drinks, as well as game-inspired decor, bowling pool, and other fun. According to Mattel, which owns Uno, more of these temporary suites are expected to open across the U.S. later this year. Sounds like it's mostly a stunt made for social media hype. So maybe not to the gaming tables, but no word on anything. I mean, can you imagine having your life savings on the line and then you forget to say Uno?
Dude, yeah. Have you guys ever played War at a casino?
No,
not
I didn't know you could play
no.
War.
When I was at the
game.
Palms in Vegas, they had War. And the way it worked was you sit down and it's just you and the dealer, right? And there's a deck of cards, which they shuffle. And then you deal out the whole deck. And you literally play War. And if you go through your cards in order to continue, once the deck is done, if you have to reshuffle, you re-up your money.
So so there's initial buy-in for the pot, I guess.
You can put anything up. I think the minimum was $5.
Yeah.
So I sat down and paid 20. We went through it. Then it was time to shuffle again, right? It's time to shuffle. If you want to stay in the game, you got to put another 20 up.
Yeah.
So you look at your card. If you got 4 cards left and he's got, 48, you can abandon ship and be like, but if you got the majority, you keep going.
Right.
Until somebody wins.
Oh.
And I loved it.
That sounds good.
I think I won $140
Playing
by
War.
the time I was done. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Playing War.
Never even heard of that.
It was like 8 tables in a row sitting like right as you come through the front door. And then the whole floor is there. They were just lined right there. and it said "Go to War," and I was like, "I'm in." Heck yeah!
Do you like board games?
I do love board games.
Do you know about the board game bar in Baltimore?
No.
Oh, so this is cool. So there's about 7 years ago, it was established called No Land Beyond.
Okay.
On Maryland Avenue, a bar, restaurant, a little bit of a restaurant. You could get pizza there.
Sure.
You come in, you take a board game off the shelf, you sit down at a table, you play Monopoly or whatever.
Yeah.
More modern games than
Sure.
that.
Sure.
And that's it. That's it. You
I
socialize.
would have been there forever.
Okay. So this company, the No Land Beyond, are moving into a former funeral parlor on North Avenue. That's a 3-story old funeral parlor that's been renovated and turned into a bar restaurant. It's actually gorgeous. And it's
Where on North?
Next to the Motel 6. Like it's Station North.
Station North.
In
Okay.
Station
yeah,
North. There's this developer, John Renner, whose a specialty is historic preservation.
Yeah.
So he buys this old funeral home. It's been there for more than 100 years.
And made it a bar.
It's the front room where you used to like
Yeah.
visit the dead was now a bar, and then there's a middle room. There's a chapel. The old embalming chamber is now the restrooms, and there's where the hearse is parked. There's outdoor seating, and
We gotta go.
So
That is creepy.
I think they moved in this month. No Land Beyond, and so they have and you can buy games there.
Yeah.
But the main thing is you walk in, you order a couple of drinks, and then you bring your buddies with you.
Yeah.
And you play
Whatever. Risk.
Well, they have
Yeah.
hundreds of games.
That's awesome. I would do that in a second.
Yeah, that sounds wild.
Yeah.
This old funeral parlor is cool.
I love that.
That's really cool. Yeah.
There's so many cool former funeral parlors. There was that bar downtown called Spirits. That used to be,
Spirits.
I think it used to be a crematorium.
It was a
actually.
crematorium.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this story out of my nightmares, guys. Custom officials at an airport in Germany uncovered a creepy, crawly surprise inside a shipment of chocolate sponge cake. Authorities at the airport say they discovered around 1,500 baby tarantulas packed into tiny plastic containers, all hidden inside what was supposed to be 15 pounds of sponge cake. And I have a photo.
I don't want to say it. I can't look at insects.
You have to look at it, Mick. We're all going to look at it.
Oh, God. Just gives me anxiety.
Yeah, the shipment had arrived from Vietnam, but officers were tipped off by a strange smell that definitely didn't match the chocolate.
Yeah, we got to talk to Vietnam. I think they're still pissed off at us. we got to straighten this out if they're sending freaking, tarantulas.
Do they have a tarantula sniffing dogs now?
I don't know, but imagine you just want some sponge cake and you open this up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That is so unfair.
Oh my God. Oh, wow.
So have you guys ever experienced or tried, I should say, intermittent fasting?
Yes.
You have?
I kind of do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not doing it the way, but I mean, I've lost weight and it works a little bit.
Yeah.
It does. But I don't like being told you can't eat for 4 hours.
Well,
that's my problem.
This is more like a 24-hour period. But there are links to people have been successful at losing weight, but they're now saying that a new study finds that intermittent fasting may ease depression. Intermittent fasting may help alleviate depression symptoms by targeting dopamine receptors in the brain, according to a new study published in Neurobiology of Disease.
See, I just got to say, this is where science sometimes, Dan, gets on my nerves, because are they just leaving out the fact that perhaps people are not depressed because they're not 345 anymore, and maybe now after intermittent fasting they're down to say 210 and they feel better?
Well, that's why I think you're right.
That's the dopamine effect.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I guess you're right. Yeah.
I think if you're not eating healthy, if you're depressed and you're not eating healthy, you're not doing yourself any favors.
And you're binge eating or something.
Yeah.
They did this research with mice, and they were exposed to a series of randomly arranged stressors over several weeks, such as foot shocks, water deprivation, and tail pinching to mimic the effects of chronic stress in humans. And then after this period, some of the mice were placed on intermittent fasting schedules that alternated 24-hour periods of food availability with 24-hour fasting. And for comparison, other groups of mice received a common antidepressant, and another group underwent a shorter 9-hour fasting period. And the results, they say, were striking. Mice in the intermittent fasting group showed marked improvements in depression-related behaviors. This, of course, was conducted with mice, so more research needed to determine whether the similar effects would occur in humans. but promising.
It's an interesting study. I
How do
mean,
you tell if a mouse is depressed?
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
Hey, here's
yeah.
some Limburger.
Yeah.
No, I don't want it. I
I'm
don't
not
want it. I
feeling
don't
it.
eat. Leave me alone. What are you?
You're a mouse. Here's some cheese. Cheer up.
Here's a joke for both of you.
Yeah.
A guy walks, and it involves a mouse. The only reason I'm telling you. A guy walks into a bar. He has no money. And he says to the bartender, hey, look, if I can show you something you've never seen in your life, will you give me a free beer? Bartender says, yeah, no problem. So the guy reaches his pocket, pulls out a little mouse and a little piano. And the mouse sits down and starts playing the piano unbelievably. Bartender can't believe it. He's blown away. Customer next to the guy goes, hey, man, I just heard you say you're broke. You have no money. I'll give you $10,000 for that mouse. Guy looks at him and says, I'm sorry. It's the only mouse in the world that I've ever seen do this, play the piano like this. The guy goes, I'll give you $50,000. He says, sir, please, you can't buy my mouse. So they sit there. Guy finishes his beer, looks at the bartender and says, look, I can show you one other thing, even better than that. Can I have another beer? And the bartender says, you show me something better than that, you can drink here on me for life. Guy goes, you got it. Reaches in his pocket, pulls out another mouse. The first mouse starts playing the piano. All of a sudden, they're singing. They're playing the piano. These two mice got the bar going crazy. And he can't believe it. The guy sitting next to him goes, all right, that's it. I'll give you $75,000 now. The guy goes, you can't have me. He goes, all right, I'll give you $100,000 just for the mouse that can sing. I don't even want the piano. The guy goes, sold. Gives him the money, gives him the mouse. The guy runs out. Bartender looks at the customer and goes, what the hell are you thinking? Thing's worth $50 million. You just sold it for $100,000. Guy goes, yeah. But what he doesn't know is that mouse can't sing. This one's a ventriloquist, too. That's the dumbest joke in the world.
It is dumb. But I like it. It's the way you tell it, Mickey.
Of course, that's the secret.
It's the way you tell it. You know?
All right, I got a couple of videos for you guys. So there was a shocking accident caught on video. It was a paraglider in North Dakota, lucky to be alive after he flew into a power line that crashed into the Red River.
Good God.
There's video.
Whoa! Oh, no!
Parachute.
Oh, jeez!
Oh, geez.
I mean,
right.
what was he, about 30 feet? What am I, man? I mean, I can't tell.
Yeah, maybe above the water. Too.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a survival drop.
Whoa!
Well, electricity and water, I don't know.
Oh,
No, but the
jeez.
electricity, did the wire go in the water too?
I don't think it did. And here he is kind of being pulled out. So he was eventually rescued and pulled out of the river. The shocking moment caught on video by a bystander who captured a loud boom and a burst of sparks as the glider hit the wires before plunging into the river below.
Jeez.
Dan, are you like a thrill seeker?
No,
I'm with you.
I don't even like roller coasters.
Yeah, I don't either, man.
No, I don't
Yeah.
do that.
But let me ask you this, because
I'm
I enjoy
a
like,
low impact guy.
Yeah. But do you enjoy watching people do it? Like watching
Well,
roller coaster?
I would get an Instagram,
Yeah,
and it'll be an industrial accident.
yeah.
Somebody doing something stupid, falling
Yeah,
off a roof
yeah,
or something.
yeah.
I won't watch it.
Yo, you can't
I
stomach
cut
it?
out. I
Yeah,
cut out.
I don't blame you.
I move on. I don't want to see people.
Yeah, I like
get hurt.
like my kids when they were little. I felt horrible because I can't do roller coasters.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really did love like sitting there and watching them all wait in
Oh,
line
yeah.
and get up and scream and
yeah.
like, but just getting
You
on
never
it
did
myself.
roller coasters, huh?
I did them when I was young,
Yeah.
and then I just don't like that going up part. I have a real.
Yeah.
I can't drive the Bay Bridge. I mean, I
oh,
can't.
Oh, really?
I-
Do you have to have someone drive for you? Or
Dan, every other Sunday, I have to drive to Kent Island to host the event. Every other Sunday, the venue sends someone across the
to
bridge
drive you
to
over?
the McDonald's,
Oh.
picks me up,
Yeah.
drives me over, and brings me back. And Matt, I forgot to send it to you.
What's that?
I have Shannon took video. I didn't know it. Remember, I told you I had a towel over my head.
She took video of you.
We'll show it tomorrow.
Oh my God.
I'm in the. You can see the bridge.
You
how
put
high-
the towel over your
I
head
ca-
because you don't want to look.
Dan,
Yeah.
I'm not making this up.
Yeah.
If there were 3 guns to my head and they said, all right, how scared are you? I would be incredibly scared.
Yeah.
The feeling I feel on that bridge, I've never felt fear like it. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you could have anything you wanted from me.
It's not. Yeah. You're way up there, and you're up there for a long time.
Don't even talk
it's
about
4
it.
miles. Yeah.
I get vertigo talking about
I
it.
did a story on the 50th anniversary of the first bridge.
Yeah.
about a man named Bob Brown who tested every rivet on the bridge. That was his job.
I can't even think about staying up there. Oh my God.
And he
hanging over the sides and stuff.
Yeah, he was strapped in a lot of times and hanging and
God.
He had a hammer where he had to test the rivets. It's like when they did rivets, right? He had to test to make sure the rivets weren't loose. He tested thousands of rivets on the bridge, and he had that hammer. It was a souvenir. It was almost like a World War II veteran with like a Nazi bayonet or something.
Every rivet on that bridge.
Yeah, he really savored this hammer. Yeah.
That's amazing.
You know what that reminds me of? Yeah. There is, speaking of TV Hill, where we all worked in the building there, the big tower that was outside there, and a whole lot of things, the bulb on top of that. There was a family of guys. I think there was a couple. There was like two companies.
Yeah,
but there was a family of guys.
That's who it was. The Manson family.
But it was their job to travel around the country and climb these towers to change a light bulb. Yeah. And that was their whole gig. It reminds me a lot of that.
So when Channel 45 built the second tower out there by itself, which is even higher.
Yeah, that one's ridiculous.
Okay. So I went up there in a bucket.
Don't even tell me. I went
up there in a bucket, and the young guy working on this thing, it's a triangular shaped tower.
Yeah.
He went to the corner, one of the corners, put the heels of his boots together, and put his arms out wide like that. And his back was to the sky. You could see the Francis Scott Key Bridge from there. And then there was a walkie-talkie, and we were up there in the cable with a photographer. And the guy down on the ground says, "Okay, it'll be $50 to come back down." But I remember just being in the bucket up that high.
I can't even.
That's terrifying.
I don't know how they.
How much would they have to pay you guys to do that?
So my grandfather and my father were iron workers, and they built the USF&G building downtown. My grandfather worked on the Bay Bridge.
My dad worked in that building.
Yeah, my dad told me when they were building that, the steel actually goes higher when they're building it than the roof itself because they set cranes on and stuff.
Oh yeah.
He would walk those I-beams with nothing.
Yeah.
They all did it.
No, seriously,
no
Mick,
one tied in.
How much would they have to pay you to do that?
Elon Musk could not write me a check.
No, I'm being serious. If somebody said I've got $1 million, you wouldn't even attempt it?
I could not get off
$1 million?
Yeah,
no way.
$1 million. If somebody wrote you a check, said, here is $1 million.
How far would I have to walk? Like from one girder to another?
Yeah,
oh
full
my God.
beam.
Not a shot in hell. There's not enough money on earth.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
If they had a gun to my daughter's head, I'm going to start praying
even
and
if you
tell
were
her how much
strapped
I love her.
in, there was no threat of you dying. You were strapped in with a harness.
Let me try to explain it to you in a way that I don't know how else to say it, but there is nothing that could make me do it.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I'm with you on that. I couldn't.
I would fall.
I don't like to even get up on the roof or clean the gutters in my house.
I don't like
I go to hotels. I go to hotels. If the lady says, "All right, your room 5, something or above," I go, I can't do it. Yeah. I can't sit on the deck at a hotel over the fourth floor.
I feel the same way you guys do, but there's a number for me.
Not me.
I would do it, especially with a harness. I would end up doing it.
There's a number for you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Not me. I'm telling you.
When the Key Bridge went down, I had to find a story to write.
Sure.
My angle was the guys who built the bridge.
Right.
And I found 4 of them and got their reactions to seeing the bridge go down. But what was interesting was to get the story about building the bridge. Yeah. What they did out there.
That's a floating bridge too, right? Wasn't that a floating bridge? I think there's something unique
about floating.
So they were tied in to the foundation, but the way that because of the wind, that bridge was able to sway. And I could be wrong. I might be saying it wrong.
I don't remember getting into that.
Yeah, I might be saying it wrong.
3 of those guys were Vietnam veterans.
Yeah.
They came home in their 20s from Vietnam, and I guess partly it was they wanted an adventure, but they also had relatives who had worked in ironwork.
Yeah.
And they called themselves Cowboys in the Sky.
Yeah, Cowboys in the Sky.
It took a lot of pride in that.
Oh, my God.
It was like it opened in 1977.
Yeah.
And Bicentennial went by. They had flags up there and everything. It took a lot of pride in building
even
the
talking
bridge.
about it, I had to stand up because I get thinking about that height. I get so freaked out.
So speaking of the Bay Bridge and the Sun Papers, you're probably not going to remember this. My mentor, I'm a hypnotist, Dan. I do comedy hypnosis shows.
Oh, really?
So my mentor in hypnosis, there was an article done on him in the Sun paper. I can't remember what year. It was probably, I'm thinking it's like the late 90s, maybe. He did just that. He took a guy who was petrified of going over the bridge, hypnotized him, and the guy drove over the bridge with him.
Really?
Do you remember that story at all by chance?
No, I don't. But what was the name of the hypnotist?
Don Patterson. He was out of Glen Burnie, Maryland at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, this fellow was under hypnosis as he drove?
No. He hypnotized him.
He hypnotized him.
Overcame his phobia that way, and then he drove over the Bay Bridge.
He hypnotized him while he's driving.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think you're a yeller. Because I don't know who could. I mean, you said you would like to take a shot.
I do.
I would give it a shot. But I'm telling you, I cannot fathom not feeling this way.
Yeah.
And it's getting worse. I told you.
Most people do with phobias.
Would you be in an army tank while they were doing artillery practice?
Oh yeah.
Inside the tank.
If I'm on the ground?
Yeah,
I don't.
But you're inside the tank.
Yeah, I would do it.
I don't know how those guys did that.
I would do
that. I did that with the Army down at AP Hill. Summer maneuvers, and oh my God, it's so claustrophobic. That's another thing. I don't go for the claustrophobia.
That doesn't bother me as bad.
Really?
I feel safe if I'm on the ground. Like that's what I tell you. They go, "Why are you so afraid of heights?" I go, "Well, if there is a God, and there probably, He built us to walk, not to fly." Like I just think it's like insulting God. Like I know you didn't give us this ability, but we're gonna do it anyway. Like it's not really religious.
You know what you might like? A hot air balloon. No, you would like that.
No, Dan, I wouldn't.
You'd be floating.
No, that's even
floating.
worse.
You're not that high.
We've had
up.
this conversation.
Dan,
you're not that high. But it's not worse.
Every time a hot air balloon crashes, I root for the ground. I want them to smash it.
They don't really crash. They come down gently. They don't crash.
I could not do
How about
it.
a submarine underwater?
I don't think I could do the 1,000 feet. I could do 100.
Could you do that?
Have you ever gone on the Torsk?
Yeah, I have.
No, I've never been on it.
It's like being inside a kitchen cabinet.
It's unreal.
So,
talk about claustrophobic.
So I've been in New London, Connecticut, and seen the modern, nuclear subs. They're massive.
Oh, they're incredible.
So we had a submariner who worked at the Baltimore Sun. He was a copy editor. Fred Judd was his name. He took a lot of pride in his service. He was a young guy in World War II, and he was always involved with the Torsk.
Yeah.
So he wanted me to go down there and climb down inside there once.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Fred,
and how long were people living in those subs? I mean, they were down there for months, right? At a time?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, crazy.
That they did that.
Those nuclear subs, like you're talking about those things now, I mean, they're just, it's unreal.
So how big they are.
They're just massive.
Yeah. And then, you ever been near a modern aircraft carrier?
Yes.
It's like
a city.
Yeah, it's its own planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They're massive.
I went in a caving once.
Spelunking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got to a point where you had to turn sideways to go through basically a crevice about the width of your body. And I remember you could feel stone on my chin and stone on my butt.
Horrifying.
And I said, okay, everybody, we have to go back because Dan is leaving.
Yeah.
And I didn't, I just.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
I just couldn't do it. That's worse to me than heights.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, heights are the worst.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I just had a story recently about a guy being trapped in some kind of cave thing like that, some thin area. I couldn't do it. No fun. It would not be a fun afternoon.
There's so many other ways to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many
like
other
standing
ways.
outside.
Yeah, standing
so
outside.
much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go fishing a lot. I stand in rivers.
Yeah.
And it's wide open.
Yeah,
and
it's unreal.
Great,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Golf is like that for me.
Golf.
I really enjoy like a late Sunday afternoon, nobody on the course, me and a buddy or a lady, and you just go out, you play, and you just, it's quiet. Yeah. You hear birds. It's like all those little things that you forget,
right?
Or what really is peaceful and awesome.
And there's like nobody around to watch you shank it.
Yeah,
right?
nobody.
Yeah.
This is why I stopped taking girls with me. It doesn't work. You don't look cool when you're dropping your fourth shot.
So one more story for you guys. We got a cool video. The Arizona police completed a pizza delivery for a driver that they arrested. Police in Tempe, Arizona say they're committed to serving the community, even when that means completing a pizza delivery. 2 officers finished off a delivery earlier this month after arresting the Grubhub driver responsible for the order. Video posted on social media shows a surprised customer receiving the pizza after being told the driver was taken into custody.
Imagine being
She's shocked.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Brandon?
Yes.
So your Grubhub guy got arrested, so still deliver your pizza.
That is
Well, I
hilarious.
really appreciate the pizza.
It still should be.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, no, you're
I
good.
appreciate it.
That's awesome.
So they posted that on social media, and the post said the order was hot and ready, and the suspect was caught and steady.
Yeah. And what-
Unclear if the driver was what the driver was arrested for, though.
did they mention the pizza shop's name?
No.
No.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's
yeah.
who really wins on
Yeah,
this.
right, for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's you want to do a quick music minute?
For sure.
All right,
Yeah.
let's do this. This is one other thing we do, Dan, and I want to thank you for being on the show today. It's
Oh,
been a
great.
blast,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, I've enjoyed
I'm going to
it.
definitely have you back.
Oh, I'd
There's
love
so
it.
many stories to tell.
Yeah.
Right now, this is our little music minute brought to us by Natalie Seafood, 2315 Bel Air Road, right in the heart of Falston. Incredible seafood. If you like seafood,
Yeah,
Dan,
I do, yeah.
you got to go to this
In
place.
Falston, huh?
It's
You said Bel Air Road?
brand new.
We're there every Friday, actually. with
We
the podcast.
broadcast there every
Yeah.
Oh,
Friday.
I saw one
Yeah.
of those podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
telling you, the restaurant's incredible.
Oh.
I'm not overselling it.
Okay.
I'm not.
All right.
Check them out. Natalie Seafood Kitchen bringing us Matt's Music Minute. What do we got, buddy?
So a Les Paul guitar stolen from the
Ooh.
Rolling Stones turned up in New York.
Wow.
This was the guitar that was famously stolen from the Stones in the early 70s. It was part of a collection of guitars owned by the New York Metropolitan Museum of Art, which was donated by collector Dirk Ziff in May. It was a 1959 Sunburst Gibson Les Paul Standard belonging to guitar player Mick Taylor, who bought it from Keith Richards in 1967. And the interesting thing about these vintage Les Pauls is that they are renowned for their flaming, which they say is unique, like a fingerprint.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen one of like real ones, they're
Yeah.
so beautiful.
Mick Taylor played this guitar at the Stones' infamous Altamont Speedway show in 1969, and Keith Richards played it during their appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1964. The guitar was also played by Jimmy Page when he was a session musician, and Eric Clapton used it at a Cream show in July 1966 after he had a guitar stolen from him during rehearsals. Until now, the guitar was considered long gone, but the business manager of Mick Taylor has confirmed that the guitar is among the 500 guitars in the collection acquired by the Met. Billionaire Dirk Ziff reportedly purchased the guitar at an auction, which was held by a reputable auction house specializing in music memorabilia. So,
Wow.
do they get the guitar back? They're going to give it
I
back
don't
to
know
Keith?
how that works. I don't know.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I don't
either.
know how that works.
Yeah.
Dan, are you a big music fan?
Yeah.
Who
I
was
love
your-
all kinds of music.
What was
Yeah.
your when you were a young
I don't
guy?
like bluegrass too much.
Yeah, I hear you.
Like 10 minutes of bluegrass a year is it for me.
That's
But
enough.
everything else, I like almost everything else.
Were you a classic rock kid like growing up?
Oh,
Did you like
yeah.
that stuff?
Oh, yeah.
The Zeppelin, the Who, all
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Yeah. The Stones.
Yeah.
I was more Stones and Beatles guy.
Yeah, I love the Stones and the Beatles.
Yeah. And then
It's funny.
Bruce, I spent a lot of time with Springsteen over
Yeah.
the years. I've seen like 5 of his concerts, but I'm kind of done with Bruce.
Me and you
yeah,
both.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did a lot of great stuff. right?
Incredible.
Yeah.
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 I'm still like a huge, like I want McCartney to me.
Yeah.
Like that I tell
Some
people,
beautiful music. Yeah.
I think when he goes, that will be like a famous person that I think might impact. Like I think about how much he did for the world musically.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know who you put above him.
Yeah.
I mean, that is going to be just that might be probably the biggest event for the music community
Of all time.
when he passes.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be massive.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know who's bigger than him.
Yeah.
Ever.
Did you ever hear Paul McCartney's oratorio?
No.
Is attempted classic and choral music.
No.
Look it up sometime.
Is it good?
It's about growing up in Liverpool,
Yeah.
and it's got a children's chorus, an adult chorus. It's McCartney doing classical choral music.
Wow.
Yeah, the Paul McCartney oratorio.
I got to
Yeah.
look that up. Thank you for telling me about that. I
you'll
never
be
even heard
surprised.
about
You'll be
that.
surprised. You may not like all of it,
Yeah.
but there's some of it is just gorgeous.
Yeah, I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
So Sharon Osbourne is also apparently retiring. She is stepping away from the music industry as her husband, Ozzy Osbourne's time with Black Sabbath comes to an end. The couple is looking forward to a quieter life in the UK after years in the spotlight. And despite Ozzy's hints at future appearances, Sharon is focused on scaling back and enjoying a more relaxed lifestyle. The decision marks the end of Sharon's successful career managing Ozzy's solo endeavors and contributing to Black Sabbath's success. While the future of Black Sabbath remains uncertain, Sharon is ready to embrace a new chapter outside of the industry.
You know, I do have a lot of respect for that woman. I do. I think in a world that was sheerly dominated by idiot men.
Yeah.
She, in my eyes, was brilliant with her husband's career.
Oh yeah,
Every step
and
that
Ozfest, putting Ozfest together, and
every step of the Ozzy journey that she controlled, was masterful. And the end, the way did you see that footage of any of that concert, his final concert?
No, I haven't.
Dan, you may not. The music may be a little much.
Yeah,
but
the
sheer monumental tribute amongst his peers and icons of the last 50 years in music.
Yeah, he's beloved for sure.
I mean, the Stones showed up to play. Like
Aerosmith.
Really? Oh, Aerosmith.
Yeah. When was that?
That was last Saturday.
Yeah.
Just
well, I'm sorry, July 5th. Was that last Saturday?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not up on that. It just happened.
Ozzy Osbourne tribute, July 5th. It's amazing.
And Sharon not only managed Ozzy and Black Sabbath's career, but she Smashing Pumpkins, ELO. She was the manager for ELO, and a handful of other big bands too. In addition to like those big Ozfests shows that she did for years as well, the festivals.
Yeah, I don't think any of them kids are hurting for potato chip money, if you know what I mean.
No.
Yeah. What else we got? Oh, go ahead, Dan.
I wanted to ask you something. Crack the Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You familiar with that?
Of course. Yeah.
Just celebrated their 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've done some little journalism on them this past few months. What an interesting story it is.
That band's incredible, by the way.
When I got to Baltimore in the 70s, everybody was talking about Crack the Sky.
Yeah.
Like it was a local band.
Right.
I said, is it a local band? I don't understand. What is it, a progressive rock band? Is it like Rolling Stone loved them and everything? And you know the story about how they became popular here?
I'm not sure.
Are
they originally from Pittsburgh?
Well, Weirton, West Virginia, on the way to Pittsburgh.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Matt, do you mind if I tell this story?
No, not at all. Please.
I think it's so interesting.
Please do.
So, when they formed and they had that breakout album that Rolling Stone magazine called the breakout album of the year in 1975, their distributor was brand new. It was a rookie distributor. Did not know how to get records into record stores. Had no national network and didn't even have a good regional network.
Right. Yeah.
But he dumped a pile of them in record stores in Baltimore. And Chris Emery, other DJs at the time, a couple of stations, started playing Crack the Sky. And it became very popular in Baltimore.
Wow.
Very popular in Baltimore. And kids could buy the albums because they were in the stores here. They weren't in the stores anywhere else. So Crack the Sky is out doing a tour with this new album. They're up in New York. They actually opened for Lester Scruggs.
Yeah, of course.
In a country bar. I mean, it's like Murph's Country Bunker and the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
Like people were throwing tomatoes at them.
Sure.
And bread. They're throwing bread at them because they don't want to hear this kind of music. They want Lester Scruggs, who did the Beverly Hillbillies thing. Anyway, and then they played at a disco, and that didn't work. So they get down to Baltimore. Finally, they have a gig in Baltimore, and it's at this place that doesn't exist anymore at Four Corners out in Jarrettsville.
I know it really well.
It used to be a club, right?
Jarrettsville Pike.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gone now,
yeah.
Right? So they show up there, and the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
When they walk out on the stage, and they know all their names, and they know all the songs in the order that they play them off the album. And they're looking around like, Who are these guys? Who are these guys?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the Coen Brothers film, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Incredible.
Well, at the end, the Soggy Bottom Boys perform, and the crowd goes wild. They have no idea that their recorded song has become very popular. Right?
Yeah.
God damn, that's the Soggy Bottom Boys. Right? Remember?
Yeah.
Well, that's what these guys compared it to that, like coming out on the stage. And they didn't think anybody appreciated them.
Well, I mean,
that's how they became popular in Baltimore.
Wow.
John Palumbo.
It's a kind of a genius, really.
Yeah. I mean, he was almost like a savant.
Yeah.
I mean, and he, I mean, I've seen them 20 times.
You want to hear my John Palumbo story?
Yeah.
When I was young, growing up in Perry Hall, my family had this big, huge wooden kind of swing set, play set type thing in the back. And once my brother, my sister, myself got a little bit older, my parents decided to sell this thing. And I guess they put an ad out in the newspaper. And So somebody came over and bought it and hauled it all away. And then when I came back, one of my parents was like, "You know who that was, right?" I said, "No." He said, "So that was John Palumbo. Have you heard of him from Crack the Sky?" I was like, "No."
Oh my God.
So I never got to meet him, but he was the proud owner of our.
He's a great
our
guy,
new
by
swing
the way.
set.
Yeah,
Good guy.
I just interviewed him.
Yeah.
It was really interesting. Fellow.
Yeah, he's a really, really.
And they're putting out a new album of all new songs.
I know.
Right?
Yeah. Good.
Celebrated
them,
50 years at the Dundalk Heritage Fair the other day.
Yeah.
Their 50th
Correct.
anniversary show.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
So they got a show in August somewhere. I'm going to go see them again.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. I think my kids would like them. Yeah.
Oh, how old are your kids, by the way?
I have a son, 35, and a daughter, 32.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are they in Baltimore?
They live here. Nick's got a row house, and Julia's got a house in Northwood, northeast side.
Were they raised in Baltimore? Did you raise them here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess you had to.
Yeah, I've been here since 76.
Yeah. God, dang.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So, Mick,
Yeah.
you're going to love this because I know you're an Oasis fan. There was a disabled man who was lifted up by Oasis fans so he could watch the show. I'll give you the video here.
Let's see this.
I'm gonna walk up.
Yeah, so Daniel Tester's sister bought tickets as a surprise but couldn't secure disability access, so they had to watch from the back of the crowd. Daniel had a very hard time seeing the show from the location, so his fellow Oasis fans decided to help him out by lifting Daniel up so he could see over the crowd.
That's incredible.
This heartwarming moment was captured on video and went viral on TikTok.
That is so cool, man.
Yeah, Daniel praised the Oasis fans for their kindness and said the experience made his day, week, and year. And his sister called the men who lifted him incredible and said that he had the most amazing time at the concert.
That's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, that is
It's
awesome.
nice to hear a good story like that.
It is.
We got any more, Matt?
Let's do one more about the Beach Boys.
All right, let's do it.
We'll wrap it up with the Beach Boys
Another
here. So
genius.
Mike Love paid a visit to his cousin and one-time bandmate Brian Wilson 3 weeks before his death, he said. He told the Daily Express what Brian wanted me to do was sing for him. Brian asked for me to sing Fun, 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 so I sang that. Then he said, sing Surfin' USA, so I sang Surfin' USA to him. And I sang I Get Around for Brian, too. He said, we even harmonized on a song called Their Hearts Were Full of Spring. That was a song by the Four Freshmen, a group which was a huge influence on the Beach Boys' harmonies.
Mm-hmm.
While plans for a public memorial haven't been announced, the family recently held a private service. Wilson died at his home in L.A. On June 11th from respiratory arrest. The L.A. coroner's report also said that the 82-year-old had sepsis as well. But cool,
What a genius.
cool story.
What
Yeah.
a Brian Wilson.
What's your favorite Beach Boys song?
God, that's so hard.
So-
If I'm honest,
there's so many
it's a
good ones.
tie.
Yeah.
I would say either God Only Knows or
God,
Yeah.
I'm with you on God.
Or-
I too. Anything on Pet Sounds, man.
yeah, I was going to
you know,
say Good
yeah.
Vibrations. It's just such
Yeah,
an
that-
amazing musical masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It is.
incredible.
It
I mean,
is.
my favorite thing about the Beach Boys is actually what the Beatles did. So a lot of people don't know. So McCartney met Brian Wilson in L.A., whatever year that was, and he was working on Pet Sounds. Him and John were in Los Angeles, and Brian took John and Paul to his studio and let him hear Pet Sounds. It was either the next day or 2 days later, McCartney and Lennon got back on a plane, cut their vacation short,
Sergeant Pepper's was
and
born, right?
went
Yeah.
back and wrote Sgt. Pepper's,
Oh,
Scared to Death.
Yeah.
And they got it out before Brian.
Before Pet Sounds?
Yeah. That's how
Wow.
much of an obsessive
Yeah.
lunatic Brian was.
Yeah.
That he kept going and going.
going.
And
yeah.
they wrote and recorded and released Sgt. Pepper's.
Wow.
I mean,
off of that.
both groundbreaking
Oh,
albums.
it
Yeah.
changed. Both of those albums are what changed music
Yeah.
for rock guys, hands
Sure.
down. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's when it got
interesting.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Dan Rodricks, I'm going to tell you something, buddy. I wanted to have you on since show one.
Oh,
I'm
that's
a
nice.
fan. I enjoy your work,
thank
and
you, Mickey.
I hope you come back.
I will. I enjoyed this very much.
And I want to
Yeah.
see your play, man.
Okay, well, we're gonna have 2 plays next
Yeah.
year. Next
I
year.
can't wait,
Yeah,
buddy.
Yeah.
And
all
you'll
right.
be back. Where's the best place for people to find you?
I have a website, danrodricks.com.
Perfect.
And everything I write is there's links to
And they
everything
can
I do
find
there.
you on there.
Yeah,
for
and
everything.
the plays have their own website, youhavenoidea.com.
Are they all on your
dot
regular
org, dot
website?
org.
Yeah.
Yeah, the links to
Yeah.
just go to
Go to
danrodricks.com.
danrodricks.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan,
Yeah.
again, thank you,
Thank
buddy.
you, Mickey.
This has been
Matt,
a pleasure.
Thank you.
Great meeting you,
Awesome.
Dan.
Same here.
Yeah.
Tomorrow on the show is who? I forget, Matt.
We have our people from the Paranormal Society
Oh,
coming
yeah.
back
Ooh.
tomorrow.
Dan,
Yeah.
this never happened to me.
You're going to have
They
2
have me-
freakouts in a week.
They had me do
Cool.
dowsing rods.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Did you
Yeah.
see it?
Yeah, I
If-
can understand why.
Tomorrow
You
I'm getting the answers.
yeah, all right.
I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Well, yeah, they
You
said
might be
they're,
writing a story about me, sir.
Yeah.
Dan. Yeah.
they said they're bringing some equipment with them tomorrow that they didn't have last time.
Uh-oh.
I think
Yeah.
they called it an obelisk.
Yeah,
which
that's what it is called.
supposedly allows them to hear
To hear
spirit
the voices. Yeah.
and allows
Oh.
them to spell with letters.
Yeah.
So
This will
I'm,
be interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
to say
Wow.
the least.
Hey
Wow.
Dan, you'd be a good guy to ask that. I have an idea that I want to. What do you think of this idea? If I was ever going to be like go on a mass shooting spree, right? A tri-state killing spree.
Oh,
I figured out
Mickey.
what to do, Dan. I get to that place at Harper's Ferry where Maryland, Virginia,
Virginia,
and
West
West Virginia
Virginia.
all meet.
yeah.
I just take a Uzi and spin in a circle, and that way I'll kill 3 people in one state at one time. How would you like to write that story?
Well, you've given me an edge. So when it happens, I
You
can
got the
I can
scoop.
say when it man, this is what were you how were you thinking this? Where did this come from?
Dan, I
Huh?
don't really do drugs and I don't
Right?
drink. I just,
You know, Barbara Walters years ago said, "If you could be any kind of tree, what kind of tree
Right,
would you be?"
yeah.
If I could be any kind of mass killer, what kind of mass killer
you got to
would I be?
admit it's a better question than the
It
tree,
is.
though,
Yeah,
Dan.
yeah.
All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow
All
at 5.
Thank you.
Thank you to the great Dan Rodricks.
you.
Matt, you're the best. We'll see you guys at 5. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.